Hi everyone, so I'm here today. It's just me, not Warren. So today, since everyone is very curious about it, mainly females, I'm going to be talking about my giving birth experience. I gave birth right after my 20th birthday. So yeah, let's get started. So, I wanted Kaylin to come early. She was due on my birthday, which was November 28th. I wanted her to come early because I wanted to see my baby. Like, who doesn't want to meet their baby after 9 long months? What happened was I lost my mucus plug at 34 weeks, a big chunk of it, and then it gradually just came out, just kept coming out up until I gave birth. So that Friday before I gave birth, I went into the hospital and I was having really tight, hurtful contractions. So I was just like, okay, well maybe these are like, I'm about to give birth contractions. So I went in, they kept me, I was 3 centimeters dilated. And if you don't know like what dilated means, it means like how big your cervix gets. And like the baby has to have that opening to get out, and it stretches to 10 centimeters. So I was 3 out of 10. So they kept me for like an hour and I wasn't dilating fast. I wasn't really dilating at all. So they sent me home, and that was a bummer because I was like, I just want to have this kid, dude. I was already like super like past, well, I wasn't super past my due date. I was like 34 days past. So then on Saturday, my cousin Angel took me to walk around the mall because she was like, we're gonna walk this baby out. So me, her, and Warren were walking around the mall. We were shopping a little bit, and all of a sudden it felt like I kind of peed myself a little bit. So I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, and this is gonna be TMI, so click out if you have a weak stomach. There was what you call bloody show in my underwear, and it's where like after you lose your mucus plug, you get this like chunk of like globby blood, and it's a lot. So I had lost my bloody show, and usually they say right after you lose your bloody show, your kid is coming within hours. So they weren't wrong, but we kept walking, and then all of a sudden like it got to the point to where I couldn't like walk. Like anytime a contraction would hit, like I would have to sit down because it was getting really painful. So we went home. I showered. After I showered, like the contractions were getting stronger and stronger, and they were like, wait till they're 2 minutes apart. So Warren's mama and my cousin Angel were both like counting, and then finally they were 2 minutes apart. So me and Warren went to the hospital. So yeah, we were in the hospital. They admitted me, and I was dilating not quickly, but pretty quickly. Then the contractions started getting worse and worse and worse, and it was to the point where like I was like the people in the movies. I mean, not dramatic, but I was just like that. And that's a for real imitation. That's literally what I did, and I was just like, like bang on the side of the bed. And then they had to when they were trying to put an IV on me, I was having really hard contractions, and they kept missing my vein. They missed 10 times. I kid you not, they were poking and prodding me while I'm having these hard contractions. It sucked. Then after that, they finally got an IV in, and like the contractions kept coming. And I was like, look, can you guys give me that pain medicine that you put in the IV? Because I was really trying not to get an epidural because I wanted to experience like natural birth. So they gave me the pain meds. It knocked me out. I didn't feel the contractions. I was asleep for maybe like 2 hours, and then I woke up and the contractions were like, oh my gosh, like they were so strong. I wanted to like rip her out of my uterus already. Like, oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. So I asked them for another dose of pain medicine, and I was like in tears, and they were trying to tell me to walk, and it was getting on my nerves because they were like, walk honey, like it'll help, like walk. And I was like, I can't walk, I don't want to get up, this hurts, like no. So I finally got up and I tried to walk, and I walked like 5 steps down the hall, and I turned to Warren and I was like, I can't, like it hurts too bad, I can't walk. So then I just sat on a yoga ball and that helped a little bit, but oh my god. All I can explain, contractions are like period cramps times a million. Like, think of the absolute, absolute worst period cramp ever. Like, oh my gosh. So then finally, like, it got so bad that I was like, I need the epidural. And they wanted to break my water first and then give me the epidural. But my nurse knew, like, she was like, if I break your water first, you're gonna give birth and you're gonna be in pain. And she was like, because this baby is ready and you're in a lot of pain, so I'm just gonna give you the epidural first and then we're gonna break your water. So the doctor came in, and number one, he had a whole attitude because the drawer wasn't ready with whatever he needed, and he was just getting on my nerves. And then finally he gave me the freaking epidural, and oh my gosh, when that thing set in, I felt so good. Like, everything was just numb. It felt like I wasn't even giving birth. Like, it felt so good. Like, I could talk, I could smile. Like, it wasn't even like I was having contractions. So then they broke my water, and they put a peanut ball in between my legs. And when they put the peanut ball in between my legs, I immediately felt like I had to poop. Like, immediately. So I was like holding it in, and they told me, like, it'll be about 10 minutes and then you'll feel the urge to push. But literally right when they put that ball in between my legs, I felt the urge to push, but I just held it back because I was like, no, they told me 10 minutes, so I can't be ready to push. So I think I let 10 minutes go by, and then I was like, I gotta poop. And then she was like, you're ready to push? And I was like, well, I gotta poop. And she was like, well, then poop. So then, like, they brought my legs up, the doctor got ready, and then I started pushing, and oh my gosh, you gotta push really hard, and you gotta push for 10 seconds, and like, oh my gosh, it's so much pushing. And then they call it like the ring of fire when the baby's head is coming out, because like it burns a little bit, but because I had the epidural, it was just like a slight burning, like very tolerable. So I felt it a little bit, but not as bad as probably most women did. And so I was pushing, and I pushed for about 20 minutes, and finally I felt her come out, like, all the way. Like, when I was pushing, I felt like I was making no progress. Like, no progress at all. Like, I couldn't feel her. I didn't feel her until, like, she was all the way out. So she was all the way out, and then everybody was like, they set her on my stomach, and she was just looking around. She wasn't crying, but she was fine. And then she didn't cry until they took her off my tummy, and then her cry was so soft. It was the softest little cry ever. And then they wrapped her up, and we called Warren's dad back in the room, and everybody got to hold her and, you know, snuggle her, and it was just so cute. So my birth experience overall, I labored for 9 hours. It wasn't too bad, I would say. I could do it all over again and be fine. Not now, but in the future. So it was a pretty good first birthing experience. So a lot of women say that they labor for like days and stuff, and like, she didn't tear me. Like, I had one little tear, and it wasn't even like, it was like inside. It wasn't like from like vagina hole to butthole, like how most babies tear. It was like inside of the hole. So I know that's TMI, but this is my birthing experience. So yeah, she didn't really tear me. I got like one stitch on the inside. Excuse me. I'd say the worst part about after giving birth is the amount of sleep you lose. Like, when I was in the hospital, Caitlin did not sleep at all. Like, she was hungry, and they kept telling me she wasn't, but I knew she was, and I wasn't producing milk, and she didn't like Similac. So yeah, she basically, until we got home, didn't get anything to eat, and I was so mad at the hospital for that, but whatever. Overall, like, giving birth is like such an amazing experience. Like, it's so weird now when I look at her to think that like I gave birth to her. Like, it doesn't even feel real. And now she's almost 6 months, so crazy how time flies. But yeah, if you guys have any like questions or comments, you can leave those down below. And if you want me to do like more individual videos where like I talk about, I don't know, anything, just let me know, because a lot of people have asked how it was giving birth, and I'd say my overall experience was pretty good. I gave birth quick. It was hurtful, but not as hurtful as it could have been. I can say that I gave birth to a human being, and my body carried a baby, so overall, I enjoyed having Kaylin. So, but yeah, guys. So don't forget about us, because we're still gonna try and make videos. We just have to get a better computer. So give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Bye.